Hello, CS students. Sorry, not math students. That's another class. Anyway, I'm Gary Parker. I'm teaching your CS class this quarter. And I just wanted to go over some of the first assignments related to WordPress. So let's switch over to my screens for the class. Take a look at it the way you see it. So when you log into our course, it's set up sequentially, and you should go through the material that way. Talked a little bit about the basics of that last class. Remember, there's a to-do list, stuff you have to get turned in soon, and stuff that's coming up on the side, depending on the size of your screen. Smaller screens, that'll be at the very bottom of the screen underneath all of the modules on the home page. We are going to take a look at getting started tutorial briefly. Most of you have already set up your Google Drive and started your WordPress accounts. Now, I was hoping that when you went to set up your WordPress account, you used the login with Google feature, which means you don't need a WordPress username or password, or sorry, a sign-in name or password. Everybody gets a username. So for example, I've got one of my fake student accounts here. If I go click the link for BMCC WordPress and click login, I always want to choose to log in with Google if my initial registration went right. If I'm already logged into Google, which I was because I was in my Gmail, then I should get straight into WordPress. Otherwise, it would have asked me to log into Google, and then Google would log me into WordPress. Don't forget to edit your profile page. Put in your first name, your last name. You can change your display name to something else. Very important is that the address, your Google address that you sign in with to Gmail, for example, has got to be the email listed here for the account to work out and log in with Google to work. Once you change that information, you can update your profile. If that process went well and you were able to update your profile, log out and log back in to WordPress, then you're good. If you didn't get that email from WordPress to your Google email account, then you would have had to send me what user you ended up being in WordPress so that I could activate your account using your Gmail address. And all I would need is what user number are you and what is your Gmail address? And a couple of people already did that. So once that authentication registration process is done, then you can update your profile and save it. If the authentication process isn't completed, it'll say it saved your profile, but every time you go in, it's going to be empty. Your first name's missing, your last name's missing, and so on. So double check your profile, make sure you're logged in and registered correctly. Then it's up to you to start editing your site. Now, this is super important. When you first register with WordPress at BMCC, you get added to the WordPress at BMCC account. And you're supposed to immediately after create a new site for yourself. Once you create that new site, I'm going to go in starting today and remove you from the WordPress at BMCC part of the site. So you can't edit our main site. You can only edit the part you own of it. And anytime you go to edit, you want to pay attention to that. So right now, it says I'm on the editing profile for my site called Computer Literacy Site for CS Students. So this is the one I made as a student. When I go to my sites now, I'm no longer in that WordPress at BMCC site. To make sure that happens, I'm just going to add a new site for fun. Let's call it another site. And the title can be, once you choose the name here, it adds it onto the address, and that can't be changed unless you delete the site and build a new one. Site title can be changed. Call that, switch to no, create the site, go back to my home page, and now I have two different sites here. So for those of you who have two different sites, I'm going to go back and delete the one that says WordPress at BMCC from your account. Just remove it from your account. If you have two sites listed now, you can set what your primary site is. And so you want to make sure that it's set to the site you created, not the WordPress at BMCC. If you have any questions, give me a call or email. All right, so some important things there. The most important one was step 5 here, that you go into the settings menu. Go down here. And under settings discussion, you choose the option users must be logged in to comment. Otherwise, you're going to get a whole bunch of spam in your account. So I'm just going to make sure this user did that. So settings, discussion, users must be registered and logged in to comment. That's important. I made that new site, my new site here. And so if I go into that dashboard, you can go ahead and activate SSL. That just makes sure your site is partially secured. I can go away to under, let's see, settings, discussion. Since this is a new site, that wouldn't have been set. So I need to go make sure I do it. So anytime I make a new site here, I want to turn that setting on so that I can reduce spam on my website. Because there's all sorts of bots out there that people do that will go and bombard your WordPress sites with crap. Okay. So hopefully you got through all of that stuff in the getting started tutorial, and then submitted to me on the next page. What is your Google email address? What was your WordPress username? Like mine is user number 305. Did you post a link to the WordPress class sites? Ooh, I didn't do that yet. Better do that now. So to do that, I need to start a new post by clicking reply here. And I need to find the address of my page. So to get the address of your page, just visit your site. So that'll take you to this right here. And then you want to just grab that address at the top, copy it, Control-C on the keyboard. And then here you want to paste it. Now the best way to, there's 2 ways to paste it. One, you can just paste it in there. At the moment, it's not an active link. So that if I do post this right now, if someone clicks on it, nothing happens. Whereas I pick somebody else in class, like this one that's blue, if I click on that one, it's going to take me to her site. So some of you didn't post an active link. So I'm going to have to go back in and edit mine because it's not active. 2 ways to make it active. One way, once you put it in there, hit enter, and Canvas will automatically activate it. Other way is to place some link text. So Barry's new WordPress site. Highlight that text and use the link button and paste in your address to the site there. So I just pasted over what was already there. So now my new address is https:// blah, 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 whatever the site name is. And then I can insert that link. So I don't actually see the address, which is okay. But now when somebody clicks on that link, it will take them to my site. I'm going to do that one more time just to make sure we're all on the same page. And actually, I'm going to go grab my other site. Let's grab this one. And I'm going to visit it. And I'll show you how to make it more colorful in just a minute. That's kind of gaudy, isn't it? So I'm visiting the site. I grab the address. Now notice the address is relatively simple here. math.bluecc.edu/WordPress/ whatever I call it. I call it a student. When I'm in my dashboard, then I get this blah, blah, blah WP admin. So WP admin means that's the admin panel for my site. Do I want to give other people that link? No, I don't. Now, other people can get there. They just can't play with my settings because they don't know my username and password, or they don't have access to my Google account in this case. But you want to be careful as to which link you post. And we want to post the link from visit site. So copy. And then in Canvas, let's delete this and start over. At the top of the discussion page for class WordPress sites, you're going to reply to the main at the top, and you can post your link in there. So you could just paste it, You can link it by hitting enter or adding the link to it. Now it's blue, so it's a hyperlink. And again, you can have the address visible, that's called a URL, or you can hide it behind text. You can type whatever text you want, and I could just have that part of the text be the link. Highlight the text, click link, paste in what you want the link to be, and insert it. And so that's now how people can access it. So they don't have to see the address. Addresses, URLs are kind of ugly. So I can hide it under some nice clean text that describes what they're getting into when they click on it. And again, if I click on it, it takes me to the site. So double check your post in there. We want it to be able to be active. Active means somebody clicks on it, something happens. Okay, I think I beat that puppy to death. Let's go back over here. So when I grade this, I'm going to be graded in on a few things. Did you give me your Gmail address? Did you give me your WordPress username, user 30 whatever, 328 or whatever it happens to be? Did you post a link on the class WordPress or a URL on the class WordPress sites discussion page? And is that link active? Right? Active link, link not active. And here in the submission, did you give me the address and did you give me an active link to it? So I can just click on it. All right, let's see what's next this week. So I'm just going to focus on WordPress and skip over some of the other stuff. So let's go look at the WordPress tutorial. If you haven't started reading this already, you definitely want to. What is blogging? First steps with WordPress. You've gone through some of these. All of these pages here are tutorials that come from the WordPress Codex for WordPress.org. There's also a site called WordPress.com that allows you to host, they will host websites for you that you build with their software. It's kind of like Wix, but it's a slightly different, a little more powerful system. So first steps with WordPress. Our login was a little bit different because I have the login with Google option. They don't show that here. They do show what a dashboard looks like, what a site can look like. And I believe, what theme are we running here? 2015, I think, is the default theme. We'll take a look at that in a minute. So you want to read through most of this page right here. In particular, I want to focus on changing the look. So about halfway down this page, the page I'm on now is First Steps with WordPress from the Canvas page, Introduction to WordPress tutorial. And you need to at least read the first few sections of these. Difference between a post and a page we'll get to today. Images is something you should look at. So again, I'm on First Steps with WordPress. So we want to play around with the appearance. In the appearance, you can have a theme, and the theme is editable. So I'm just going to show you how to edit a theme. So back to, let's go to WordPress over here. Logged in. If you're logged into WordPress, there'll be a big black bar at the top that says you're logged in. So I'm not logged in as this particular user. And although I have a username and a password because I've been using this site for a long time, I don't need it because I log in with Google. And so here it knows me as Coach Parker is my nickname, and that is my display name. And this is my Google address down here. And I have a couple of different sites. I have the WordPress at BMCC, which you guys start with, but we're going to get rid of it shortly. And then I have a new site I made. This one I made last year. So I'm going to go into its dashboard. And then I'm just going to go view that site. Sometimes I want this page open, and then I want that link open in a new page. Two ways to make that happen. If I right-click on Visit Site, I can choose Open in a new tab. Or if I hold down Control and click the link, so Control click, that will open whatever the address takes me to in a new tab. So here I have a particular theme for this version of WordPress. It's different than the theme for WordPress at BMCC, which is different than the theme that this CS student used right here. So there's a ton of different themes you can apply. So let's take a look at how to do that. Choose this one. So I want my dashboard for this site. And under dashboard, I want to grab appearance. Now, depending on the size of the screen of the thing you're working on, you'll either see the words for what we're doing here, or if you have a smaller screen, you'll just see icons for each of them. And when you point to them, they'll tell you what they point and pause or hover over them. They'll tell you what they are. On a touch screen, a quick touch will show you what it is, and another touch will take you to that. So let's take a look at appearance. Where'd you go? Paintbrush. Okay. So under appearance, I'm going to take a look at themes. Everybody got the 2015 theme. I have that set as the default theme for the class. There's 39 different themes I have uploaded into this system. Some of those themes I picked, others were picked on by students who took this class in the past. If you don't find anything you like here, pick the next best thing. If you really want to get crazy and look for themes, you could go to WordPress.com and search for themes. And there's a lot of amazing themes out there for WordPress. A lot of them you have to pay for. So you only want to look at free themes, because I'm not going to buy a theme for this class. And so if you find a theme that you think is wicked awesome and you really want to learn how to use it, then I will upload it into our system here. So those of you who are thinking you have an interest in web design, then there's a lot of great stuff you can look at here. So I have a whole bunch of different themes here, and every one is configurable. So I'm just going to start with configuring the basic one. So to configure a theme, you customize it. And usually you have control over colors on the screen, images on the screen, and menus on the screen. Some themes come with automatic menus built in. Others you have to add the menus. So depending on the theme you pick, we might need to edit your theme a little bit after the fact. And I'll demonstrate that in this video and probably the next one. So site identity. One thing you want to do is get a tagline besides another WordPress site. So come up with some kind of tagline. It doesn't matter what it is, but I just want you to know that's something you can change. You can also have a logo for your site. I don't have one ready to go right now, so I'm not going to put one in there. Let's see, we're going to go back. Colors. So here, as far as the background color goes, my site has different views. Most of these themes are what are called adjustable, in that the way the page is presented depends on the size of the screen or the type of the device that's viewing it. So the page will look slightly different on a big monitor than it will on a laptop or a tablet or a smartphone. So notice the orientation of my page here, and if I zoom out on it a little bit, the sidebar goes, I get a sidebar instead of a top bar with stuff in it. So that's called a responsive theme. So the background color is this one over here for this theme. And you can set it in a couple of different ways. You can type in the hex color. We'll talk about hex colors later. Or you can pick something from the rainbow of colors here for your background. And it tells me the hex color. Again, hex colors will be part of the course later. You can change the text color in the header and sidebar. So this is my header and this is my sidebar. So you want to pick something that goes good with your background. And for a different color, you have shades of it from dark to light. And those shades change the hex color also. And then you have the sidebar color, which you can pick to be anything you want. It's one of the default colors, or you could just kind of mess around and find something else. Let's go with a purplish. No, that didn't look good. So I picked a color that doesn't go well with my text, so now I need to go change my text color and make it something that's going to look better there. That looks reasonably well. All right. So that's something you can play around with. You don't have to save at every step here, but the site won't take on these colors till you finally do the save and publish. This is just a preview of your site. Other things you can kind of play around with is you can put an image header in. Right now I have no image header put in there, but I did load one up earlier. To add a new image, you just click there. Now here they recommend your images be 954 pixels wide and 1300 pixels tall. So each theme has templates in it, and those templates expect images around a certain size. If you use images that aren't quite that size, then sometimes it won't display right in your site. And so if you have problems with that and you want help fixing it, then we can get together for a video chat and do that. Otherwise, just grab the file you want and then just drop it in there. And if you have an image that you like, but it doesn't fit the dimensions they want, or it doesn't look good, I can go over how to adjust, how to crop an image and resize, things like that. And every time you add an image in here, so I guess we should find one and throw it in for the heck of it. I have some here. How about, that's a cute one right there. Open. So you can see I have a couple of other images in my image library. And when you put an image in, it's a good idea to add alternate text describing what it is. That's usually for screen readers. So I'll call this one weird block image. Weird. Yep. And then it's going to want me to crop it according to the dimensions they mentioned. So it has to be in the proportions of 954 by 1300. So I can move over that crop, or I have some ability to resize it, but notice they want me to keep it in those general dimensions. And so each theme, again, gives you the ability to add images, but depending on where you put the images, sometimes it has to be a certain proportion. So that's all it'll let me put in here. So I can hit crop image, and it's going to throw it in my background. If I decide, hey, yeah, that looks cool. If I decide it doesn't, notice I'm having trouble with some of my text here. So I'd have to change my text color. So playing with a site takes time. You got to kind of mess around with colors. I think it's fun. I really dig doing this, but not everybody does. So maybe that dark blue, nope. Black, red, kinda. All right, so maybe this image just has to go, or I could just go back to a plain color. I'm going to switch to this one. Change the color one more time. Let's see. Wrong button. There we go. So you could spend a lot of time playing around with the colors here, or you could, that almost works. Green. That kind of works. There we go. We'll say that works for now. Menus. So right now I have no menus with this theme. So that's something I want to fix. So I'm going to make a menu called main, create it. And then I want it to be the primary menu, and I want it to automatically add new top level pages. So we're going to make some pages in a minute, and you'll see what I mean. If you don't have a menu, then it can be hard for people to navigate to content in your page. All right, so widgets, you can play with that. Static front page, we're not going to worry about. So I'm going to save and publish this. And so this is the way my site's going to look now. And again, on different site screens, it'll look different. So this is the way it will probably look on a smartphone or a tablet. And if I zoom out again, this is the way it'll look on those computer screens and laptops. All right, so I'm done with that. So I'll do one more theme just for fun. Let's see, what's a cute theme here? I thought Daisy Blue was kind of nice, but I've done that one before. Intergalactic magazine. My recollection of the magazine, it had a lot of options. It took a lot to set up. It doesn't look too hard. That's cute, isn't it? Ooh. I'm gonna go with this one. Yeah, what the hell, why not? Okay, so I'm gonna go with the live preview. And that's cute, but I might want to put a different image in there. So let's see, site identity, it's going to remember the stuff I did before. So certain things, the themes from theme to theme, it will remember. Other things, it won't, because it belongs to that theme. Like the colors are something that I can set here myself. So right now it has white, and if I try to set that to red, nothing here is displaying that. Interesting. We'll see what that does later, I guess. And then header image, add new image. I could grab, let's see, its suggested dimensions are 1600 by 400. Okay, so it's this one right here. This one is not the right one. So it's going to ask me to crop it because it's not the right dimensions. So select and crop, and that's what it recommends. Sure, why not? Crop. And interesting. Oh, it's got a slider there too. I wonder, does it let me edit those? Background image. Aha. Okay, so let's try this again. Change image. Let's try the clock in there. And position it in the center. Huh. So some are easier to edit than others. Repeat, scroll. Let's turn off repeat. Scroll with page is kind of cute. Menus. It remembers I had a main menu, but not that it was primary. Widgets. There are new widgets. Static front page. Latest posts is what we want usually. And let us try to activate it and see what happens. Saved. And then visit the site. Okay, so interesting. This theme is not behaving. All right, so it's going to take me a little playing around to figure out how this theme works. Some of them are easy, some of them aren't. So my recommendation is you avoid that theme I just put in here and try a different one. I don't even get my menus. All right, live and learn. Appearance. That theme was not good. Let's go back to my 2015 theme. Probably in alphabetical order. Okay, 2015 was the theme I had. Activate and visit. All right, back to that one right there. So have some fun with the themes. If you have any questions, if the theme's not playing the way you want, let me know and I'll try to help you figure it out. We can do a video chat. All right, so again, read through each of these pages to learn more about WordPress. There's information here about playing around with your themes. And let's see, I guess I better install 2017. I probably have a 2018 that's about to come out. So maybe I'll install a few more themes. If you have recommendations for themes, let me know. Okay. So what else do we want to look at? One more thing, I believe. All right, so the main project for this week is to do some more work in your blog, look at the difference between posts and pages. So a post is something like a news article. It's transient. There's new news every day. And so that's the idea of a post. A page is something that you want to see all the time, like how to contact somebody, what the address of the place you're going to is. Policies that some organization has. Maybe it's a restaurant, so the menu you would want to be always available easily. So that's not something that comes and goes. It's something that sticks around for a while. And so you're going to create 2 posts about your, the first one is going to be about your 3 favorite books, and you got to give me some specific information about them. And then you're going to write 5 amazing facts about your birthplace. Birthplace could be a town, it could be a state. That's up to you. And then you're going to write a couple of pages. You're going to write one page called About, where you're going to give me a brief summary of yourself, and you're going to include a picture. Okay. If you are, I've had students before who have no online presence and they don't want to have one. So put a picture of something else if you don't want to put a picture of yourself, something you like, something related to your brief summary. And then you're going to start your portfolio page today. And as we go through the course, when we create certain projects, we're going to post links to them on our portfolio page. So for now, you just have a page with nothing in it. So let's take a look at that. So back to my student account here. I'm going to go to my dashboard and I'm going to start a new post. And one of the instructions originally was to get rid of the hello world post. So I'm going to trash that right now and I'm going to add a new post. So post is one of those transient things. And again, here I want a post, not a page, for my 3 favorite books. Oops, wrong one. So I'm just going to call it my favorite books. You can call it anything you want that's relevant. And then here I want a numbered list. So I'm going to just click on the numbering. And this is just a mini word processor. This last button right here gives you a few more tools to edit with, but it has the most common ones at the top. So let's see, one of my favorite books is Cryptonomicon. Oops. And it is by Neil Stevenson. And I can't remember when it was published. I'll have to look that up. It was, I'm going to guess it was 1999, but it was probably later than that. And then a little bit about it. Through World War II and modern day America. Blah, 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 type some stuff about it. And then when you hit enter, it'll start a new line and you can put your next book. Putting images of your book in there, that's a little bit tricky. You can't post images online that you don't own or have permission to use. So if I were to just look up this book, and I can't spell it, and say, yeah, I want that cover photo, and I'm going to go save that image to my computer. Save something, make sure you pay attention to where it goes. So chances are I do not have the right to use that image. I don't own the image, somebody else does. So I want to be careful about posting that image. So the publisher could come after me later and they say, hey, you posted an image of our book on your site. You don't have the right to do that. So here, notice it says, if you zoom in, pages displayed by permission of HarperCollins, copyright. So most stuff you find on the internet is copyrighted. Somebody else owns it, and you have to get permission from them to use it. So I don't have permission from HarperCollins to use this image, so I cannot use it. So I would have to find some other image that I have the right to use. And on our website, I have an image search page in the general information. These are some sites where you're likely to find images that are free to use. So I could go to that site and I could search for something like cryptography and see if anybody posted images related to cryptography. And so Bitcoin is related to cryptography. And so there's a lot of stuff about it related to it on here. So, and how do I know I have the right to use any of these images? So let's see, say I like this one right here. It's going to give me the license for it. So this one has a Creative Commons license. Anytime you grab an image, you need to keep track of a few things. Where did you get the image? I'm getting the image from that address right there. What is the license of the image? So let's say I'm going to use this image. So I'll do my download. I want a small version. So it could put in my downloads. If I'm going to upload this into WordPress, so let's say I'm going to do that right now just for fun. And I want to go to Add Media, and I want to upload that file I just downloaded. So there it is. I'm going to add some notes about this. And so in my notes here in WordPress, I want to make a note of the address I got it from. So that needs to always keep track of that. So we'll put that in the description. And then I also want to know what is the license. So where'd you go over here? Yeah. And so I'm going to copy that license description. So this license is called a CC0 as opposed to copyright. So Control C to copy stuff you highlight. And I'm going to Control V to paste that in. On the keyboard, Control X is cut, Control C is copy, Control V is paste. They're right next to each other. X, C, V, cut, copy, paste. Alt text is there for people with screen readers mainly. So photography image. And I want a small thumbnail of it. It doesn't need a caption. It can have a title. That's okay. Usually I put, actually, I'm going to grab this information from the description and put it in the title. That's kind of a cool place to put it. All right. I'll have places I can insert and it'll drop it in there. Images in WordPress.